welcome to the E Academy. In this episode, we'll continue exploring the BEWAVE app. We'll walk through its individual tabs and available options to help you navigate with ease and make the most of its features. You can download the BEWAVE app for free from the App Store or Google Play. It's compatible with iOS and Android devices running version 11 or higher. When you open the app for the first time, you'll be asked to allow a few permissions, including access to your device's location. It's a good idea to select the "while using the app" option. The app uses your location for the astronomical clock feature, which can later help automate how your connected devices work, like turning them on or off at sunrise or sunset. You'll also be asked about notifications. To get alerts and updates from the app through push notifications, make sure you allow them. An important detail, the app looks and works similarly on both Android and iOS. However, there might be some differences. For example, on iOS, you'll also be asked if the app can search for and connect to other devices on your local network, like IP cameras. Okay, the app is already installed. In one of the previous episodes, I showed you how to add a site. Now, let's take a closer look at the main screen. At the very top, you'll see the name of your site. When you click on it, it takes you to a screen where you can switch between sites or add a new one. We'll come back to this later in the episode. For now, let's return to the dashboard. There's a small circle on the opposite side of the screen. Tapping it will take you to the My Profile section, where your profile picture, if added, is displayed. After clicking on this field, you'll see several options. You can enable or disable biometric login. You can access notification settings like choosing which events trigger notifications, setting sounds, and deciding how and where notifications appear. You can add or change your profile picture. You can update your password. If there is a smart keypad connected to the system, you'll also see an option to set or change your access code. Below that, you can select the app's language. You can also choose between light mode and dark mode, depending on what theme you prefer. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll find the option to log out of your account. Let's go back to the home page. At the top of the screen, there's a bar that shows some key details about your system. In this section, you might see a message about the current state of the alarm system. Thanks to this, just one glance at the screen is enough to check if your site is protected, meaning that one of the arming modes is active. The next position on the bar shows the power consumption of all devices connected to the system through smart plugs. Next, you'll see the temperature reading from the device that has been set as the main sensor for your site. Later in the episode, I'll show you how to find and choose that device. If the system detects an alarm or trouble, the relevant information will appear on the screen below the status bar. Just below that, you'll find a switch between two sets of buttons, Groups and Scenes. You can swipe through the tiles from side to side. In the first case, tapping one of the icons lets you access and manage a collection of devices grouped by their function. The second set of buttons is Scenes. The icons displayed here correspond to the scenes you've configured. Tapping an icon lets you quickly run preset tasks, or sequences of tasks. The lower part of the screen shows all the rooms in the system, which you can scroll through vertically. When you tap an image, you can view the devices assigned to that room, add new ones, and edit its settings. Let's get back to the home screen. At the very bottom, you'll see a box with 4 buttons. The home icon will always take you back to the home screen. The magic wand icon will take you to the automation section, where you can create, edit, and manage scenes and routines. The shield icon represents security. When you tap it, you'll see the alarm system status, and you'll be able to arm or disarm the system, manage arming modes, check the event log, and add a new mode. In total, including the full arming mode, you can have up to 10 different arming modes. The cogwheel icon will take you to the settings screen. Let's pause here for a moment. By clicking the switch button on the right side, you'll get to the site selection screen. The list shows only the sites that have already been added to the app. When you tap the Add Site button, other sites available on the local network you're connected to will appear. You can also select Import Site List to import site data from a file. Another option is to click Add Other Site. This lets you connect to a brand new smart hub, for example. We're back to the settings screen. If there are currently any troubles in the system, or if it has memorized any past ones, a box will appear at the top of the screen with that information. From there, you can open the list of troubles to inspect them and remove those that are no longer active. The next section is called Summary. Here you'll find information on power consumption for the entire site, for individual rooms, and for devices. This includes charts with archived data of energy consumption. You can also check current environmental data such as temperature, humidity, and atmospheric pressure. The view can be adjusted to display archived data by day, month, or year, and exported as a CSV file. Let's go back. The event log displays all events recorded by the system. Using the available filters, you can narrow it down to show only the events you're currently interested in. The system can store up to 8,000 events in its memory, with the oldest ones automatically overwritten. This is also where you'll find photos taken by the motion detector cam devices. Let's move on. In the Settings section, you can set up the Smart Hub. First, you can configure the connection methods. In other words, how the Smart Hub communicates with the outside world. If you notice that events are saved with a different time than when they actually occurred, you can manually run time synchronization. Important note, a Smart Hub automatically performs this synchronization once a day. Next, you can adjust the time zone, configure daylight saving time, and enter your location, which, as I mentioned earlier, is used for astronomical clock control. The next section covers updating the hub firmware. If SATEL releases a newer firmware version than the one currently installed, an eye icon on an orange background will appear next to the Update the System option. The next setting is SATEL server connection. When this option is enabled, the connection is always established through the SATEL server. This means the app connects to the hubby over the internet via the server. With this option on, the system can also send push notifications to users. If this setting is disabled, connection to the hub will still be possible on the local network, but push notifications will not be delivered to your smartphone. When you activate the Grade 2 option, the settings required for this level of protection, as defined by EN 50131, are automatically applied. Using the LED indicator function, you can turn the Smart Hub's indicator light on or off. The import and export settings to SD card allows you to transfer data and settings to another system or save a backup copy. This can be very useful in case of a malfunction, or if you need to restore the hub to factory settings or replace it with a new unit and upload the previous configuration. The Restore Factory Settings setting, on the other hand, clears all system data and lets you configure it from scratch. Let's go back to the Settings screen. You'll see a few more fields here, such as Schedules, Reporting, Present Simulation, Users, and Diagnostics. We'll cover them in the following episodes. Let's now move on to the Site Management section. It includes two options. The first option, Edit Site, lets you change the name of your site. Here, you can also select the device that will provide the temperature reading displayed on the dashboard, as I mentioned earlier. Most BEWAVE devices come with a built-in temperature sensor, so any of them can handle this function. It is possible to change the icon for each site, which helps a lot when you're managing more than one from the app. Further on, you'll find options to personalize the application and change the order in which rooms, groups, and scenes are displayed on the home screen. You can arrange these elements by simply tapping and dragging the individual icons to the desired location. Okay, let's exit the site editing screen. The last option on the list, Delete Site, lets you completely remove a site from the app. It will disappear from the list of sites, and you will no longer be able to connect to it. That's why you should only delete a site when you're entirely sure. To reconnect later, you'll need to be on the same local network as the Smart Hub, or connect to its access point. Now there's one last item left on the screen, the Add Device button. As you can surely guess, it's used to connect new devices to the system. You'll also find this option in other parts of the app, like in Groups or Rooms, And that wraps up this episode. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again in the next eAcademy episode. See you then.